Hi everyone, it's Janet Wakeland with Remarkably Created, and we are on day 2 of opening doors in the Stampin' Up! Crafting Advent Calendar. First, I want to review the first 2 gifts. So, in addition to the 12 gifts that are inside of the box, you do get this really beautiful and fun photopolymer stamp. If you missed video number 1, where I showcased a few samples with this, you can go back and scroll down or simply put video number 1 into the search box. Then under door number 1 that we opened yesterday, we had this set of dies that coordinates with this stamp set. You're going to be able to cut the flowers out with these 2 dies, and then you have some fun coordinating images. Every single day I will be showcasing samples and tips with the day before's release. So we opened the door for this yesterday, which means that my samples today will be from this. But before we do anything else, let's go ahead and let's open up door number 2 so that we know what we're creating with. Ooh, it's a big door. So here you can see all of this. And you're gonna wanna stick around because I had this like incredible thought last night as I was thinking about samples. Ooh, oh my gosh, it's a coordinating pack of paper, and look at the colors in this. Let's open this up. Oh, and I wonder, okay, let's see. But anyway, you're gonna wanna stick around because I had some amazing ideas about this box. So look at this paper. And somebody mentioned that they were surprised. They kind of expected that everything behind the doors would be Christmas related. I, for one, am thankful that so far the first 3 gifts are not holiday related. Okay, especially for those of you that might wait till December and truly open it during the Christmas Advent. Okay, but look at this paper, guys. Wow. Oh my gosh, how fun is that? And then we're gonna flip it over. It's plain white on that side, okay? But let's see here. I'm kind of curious if it's not a perfect fit, but we'll definitely be able to squeeze a couple of die cuts out of that, okay? But anyway, the look and the images do coordinate with the dies and with the stamp set. So beautiful designer paper for you. I'll count the number of sheets later. And then we're going to come back to this box and talk about some ideas for it. So today's video is going to be a little longer. But let's look at some ideas and a throwback tip to yesterday. So this is the card that I spritzed on yesterday at the very end of the first video. But I went ahead and I went back in and added some outlines. The tips in yesterday's video related to ideas for using solid image stamps. And one of the tips that I did not give you is simply using a clean stamp. I know it's stained pink, but it is clean. There's no ink on it. And then taking a marker and just going over the edges. Literally, you're going to create an outline to use with that stamp. So that's another way that you can use it, is by taking this and just kind of going around your edges and cleaning it. But make sure that there's no ink on the inside center. I mean, you could do it both ways, but in this case, I wanted to go back and just draw some more depth to the images that we had let bleed. And then now let's toss in those new die cuts. So here you can see the new die cuts. Look at this cool trim. Isn't this fun trim? And then big thanks is from the stamp set. But there's your new dies. Here is the little rainbow die. And then the greeting, healing hugs. And take a look at this paper, guys. See if you can see. Let me look at it. Can you tell that it's shimmering? That it's all shiny and sparkly? Look, there you go. Now you can see it. I will link the video that I did for my followers on my Facebook page on how to DIY your own shimmer paper. It's so fun and addictive. So here is the rainbow, but in this case we didn't punch the images out, and we just did 3 greetings from that, and then some happy polka dot paper. Polka dots just make people smile. And then here we did stamp the coordinating stamped images and then die cut them, and then we just added a little bit of leaves. For the centers of the flowers, I just put a blob of Tombow liquid glue and then masked up a whole bunch of gold sequins. So I just kind of wanted something that had a bit of depth to it and then a bit of sparkle to it. And then for our last sample, it's going to tie into a tip. We've got big thanks. And if I hold this still and let the camera focus, can you see that all of the dies have some color to them? So let's talk about a couple of fun things that you can do with dies. So with dies, especially ones that have raised edges like this, inside of them you can see where they also cut and emboss. You can take your markers, and in this case you don't want to use blends, okay? You want to use the brush tip on a Stampin' Right marker, and don't forget again, these are retiring, so scoop them up so that you can do this technique. And you're just going to brush it right across your whole die. Now you do have the option, I'm going to use the bigger one, of also getting down not just over the top of the die, but kind of coming in between as well too, so that way when the die is pushed on the cardstock as it's going through, you're going to get a little bit, let me bring this back in, of this action. So you're going to get that because we've pushed the die through, okay? Now, if you don't have Stampin' Right markers, another thing that you can do is you can take your die and you can literally just mush it right down into your ink pad. And now it's got some ink on it, and now you can die cut with it that way, and that's going to add some color for you as well. You can also use a dauber to transfer ink to the dies. You could use your blending brush. I do find daubers, markers, or mushing it into the ink pad the best. And then you're just simply going to rinse these with water. The only caution is to make sure that you really pat them dry. This is metal and it can rust. But no harm at all in putting ink on them, no harm in washing them with water. The only must do is patting them nice and dry. So then let's also talk to you about a tip for keeping your little pieces together. So I've worked hard to kind of keep this one together, hoping it didn't come apart for this demonstration. So when you die cut, before you pull this piece out of the die, okay, if you want to keep pieces of a die together so that you can do, for example, a look like this, okay, oops, why is the camera being funny? So if you want to do a look like this, for example, maybe I didn't want these flowers to be open. Maybe I wanted them to be closed, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of tear and tape and just kind of put it across them. And now those pieces aren't going to fall out. You're going to be able to work with it just like that with all of the pieces inside. So once you pull it from, the machine, go ahead and leave it all together and then lay that piece across it. So you're going to have some fun being able to use your dies. So now let me bring this box back in here and let me talk to you just for a few minutes about some ideas I had with repurposing this box, okay? So hopefully a lot of you are like me and you're just not going to be able to wait till December to open up every single door, right? Obviously, those that you might be gifting this to will be able to open every single door in December. But for those of us not waiting, this box has magical properties for re-gifting. You can see here that even though this door is open, you're going to be able to lay it nice and flat. And so you're going to be able to close these doors back up again. And now you're going to be able to use this as an advent calendar for your family. You can put small toys in here. You could put notes for a scavenger hunt. You could put small bills behind each one of the doors. You could put candy or cookies. All kinds of things can go behind these doors. So you're going to be able to absolutely repurpose this. And what I love about this is it does have the ornaments on the front and the year 2025. But again, it just has this nice generic feel to it. So your family could definitely have fun opening the doors. So you can get this as a gift for yourself now and then repurpose it into a gift for your family with something behind the doors for them. if they're not crafty like you. So you can definitely repurpose this box. It's nice and sturdy. In addition, just crack it just a little bit. Stands very nicely on your shelf. Everybody can pull it down and then have fun finding out what you hid for them inside of your box as you repurpose it. So hopefully you'll join me tomorrow for day 3. And then just a cautious reminder, this advent calendar is while supplies last. And if you're hoping to see what's behind all 12 doors, I can't guarantee that that advent calendar will last. So if you're a demonstrator, make sure that you're buying one from yourself. If you're one of my customers, make sure that you're using the link to shop with me to get one. And if you're a customer on this page with a demonstrator that you work with, make sure you go to them and scoop one up today so that you're not sad as I present to you 10 more tips and ideas and samples and fun things. Thanks, guys.